Waking up every day feeling in control, motivated, and ready to face whatever comes your way. Now think about how often your own thoughts hold you back. What if, by changing the way you talk to yourself, you could shift your mindset in just 7 days? It might sound simple, but the truth is, the words you speak to yourself are more powerful than you think. Every thought you allow shapes how you see yourself and the world around you. It's what makes the difference between feeling stuck and finding the strength to move forward. Most people don't even realize how much negativity they feed their minds every single day. But here's the exciting part. Once you become aware, you can take control. You can rewrite the way you speak to yourself and start seeing yourself in a whole new light. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore how choosing the right words, focusing on the right thoughts, and building the right habits can completely transform the way you feel about yourself. Because when you learn to talk to yourself with kindness, belief, and purpose, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. 7 days. That's all it takes to start seeing the change. Let's get started. Number 1, start with awareness. Everything starts with awareness. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve more, grow more, and become the best version of yourself, it begins with knowing where you are right now. Awareness is like turning the lights on in a dark room. You can't fix what you can't see, and you can't improve what you don't even realize needs improvement. Let's take a moment to think about it. How often do you really stop and pay attention to the way you talk to yourself? The words you use, the tone, the thoughts that go on in the background of your mind. Are they lifting you up, or are they tearing you down? Most people don't even notice. They wake up, they go about their day, and they let their minds run on autopilot, like a car with no driver. But that's the problem. If you're not aware, you can't take control. And if you're not in control, who is? So here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to pause. Just pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's really going on in my mind? What kind of thoughts am I feeding myself? Are they helping me grow, or are they holding me back? Awareness starts with observation. No judgment, no beating yourself up, just noticing. For the next 7 days, I challenge you to be a detective in your own life. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Are you constantly criticizing yourself? Do you tell yourself things like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough? Or maybe you catch yourself making excuses, saying, it's too hard, or I'll never get there. Whatever it is, just notice it. Write it down if you have to. Keep track of those patterns. Why is this so important? Because your thoughts shape your life. The way you talk to yourself determines how you feel, how you act, and ultimately what you achieve. If you're always feeding your mind with negativity, guess what? That's what you'll see in your life. But if you can become aware of those thoughts, you can start to change them. And that's where the real power lies. Here's the thing. Awareness is not about beating yourself up. It's not about saying, oh, I'm so negative, or I've been thinking all wrong. No, it's about getting curious. It's about saying, wow, I didn't realize I was talking to myself like that. That's interesting. And then asking yourself, what can I do differently? Let me share something personal with you. When I first started my journey, I wasn't always aware of the way I talked to myself. I had goals, big dreams, but there were moments when my inner voice would say, Jim, who are you kidding? You're just an ordinary guy. You can't do that. And for a while I believed it. I let those thoughts hold me back. But then one day I decided to really listen to that voice. I asked myself, why am I talking to myself like this? Is this voice helping me, or is it hurting me? That was the turning point. Just being aware of those thoughts gave me the power to start changing them. Now I want you to do the same. Throughout your day, check in with yourself. Maybe it's in the morning when you're brushing your teeth, or during your commute, while you're driving or walking. Just ask yourself, what's on my mind right now? How am I talking to myself? You might be surprised by what you hear. But remember, the goal isn't to judge, it's just to notice. Let me give you a little tip. Set reminders for yourself. Use your phone, sticky notes, whatever works for you. Write down questions like, what am I thinking right now? Or is this thought helping me or hurting me? Place them where you'll see them. On your mirror, your fridge, your desk. These small prompts can make a big difference. And here's something powerful to remember. Your thoughts are not facts. Just because you think something doesn't make it true. If your mind says, I'm not smart enough, or I'll never succeed, that doesn't mean it's a fact. It's just a thought. And the beautiful thing about thoughts is that you can change them. But first, you have to be aware of them. I know this might feel uncomfortable at first. Nobody likes to admit that they've been their own worst critic. But let me tell you, this is where growth happens. When you shine a light on those negative patterns, you take away their power. You start to see them for what they really are. Just habits, just old stories you've been telling yourself. And habits can be broken. Stories can be rewritten. So here's your action plan for today. Spend some time alone, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and just listen to your thoughts. Don't try to change them. Just observe. What are you saying to yourself? How does it make you feel? Be honest, but be kind. This is about learning, not punishing yourself. And for the next 7 days, keep practicing this awareness. Carry a little notebook with you if you can, and jot down any patterns you notice. Maybe you'll catch yourself doubting your abilities, or maybe you'll realize you've been holding yourself back with fear. Whatever it is, write it down. Awareness is the first step, and it's a powerful one. Remember, you have the ability to take control of your inner world. You're not a victim of your thoughts. You're the one in charge. And when you start to pay attention, when you become aware, you open the door to change. You give yourself the gift of choice, the choice to think differently, to act differently, and to live differently. This is just the beginning. Start with awareness and watch what happens. In 7 days, you'll already feel a shift. You'll start to see the power of your own mind. And once you do, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Number 2, choose positive words. This might be one of the most important conversations we ever have, because the words you use every day, even the ones you think no one else can hear, are shaping your life. If you want to see a real transformation in just 7 days, I challenge you to focus on the words you're choosing. Positive words, uplifting words, words that build you up instead of tearing you down. Now, why is this important? Let me tell you. Your mind is like a sponge, constantly absorbing the messages you feed it. If you keep filling it with doubt, fear, and negativity, how can you expect to have the confidence to move forward? On the other hand, if you start feeding your mind with words of encouragement, hope, and possibility, you begin to build a foundation for success. That's how powerful your words are. They can create a completely new mindset. Think about it for a moment. How often do you catch yourself saying things like, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," or even "this will never work out"? Those words might seem small, but they carry weight. They chip away at your belief in yourself. And if you say them enough, they start to feel like the truth. But here's the good news. You can choose different words. You can rewrite that narrative. And it starts with being intentional about what you say. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice choosing positive words. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means reframing how you talk about yourself and your situation. Let's say you're facing a tough challenge. Instead of saying, "I'll never figure this out," try saying, "I'm figuring this out, one step at a time." Notice the shift? One makes you feel stuck, while the other gives you hope. That's the power of positive words. I'll give you another example. Imagine you're working on a big goal, and it feels overwhelming. It's easy to think, "This is too hard," or "I'm not cut out for this." But what if you said, "This is a challenge, and I'm growing stronger every day because of it"? It's not just about being positive. It's about giving yourself the chance to succeed. Positive words create positive momentum. And when you have momentum, you can accomplish amazing things. I understand that this might not come naturally at first. If you've spent years criticizing yourself or focusing on the negatives, it's going to feel a little strange to start using positive words. But that's okay. Change takes practice. The first step is to notice the words you're already using. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. When something doesn't go as planned, do you call yourself a failure? When you make a mistake, do you say, "I'm so stupid"? Catch those moments. That awareness is the key to changing them. Once you start catching those negative words, replace them with something better. Here's the trick. Don't just pick random positive words. Choose ones that feel real to you. If you made a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm so stupid," say, "I made a mistake, but I'm learning from it." If you're feeling stuck, don't say, "I'll never get this." Say, "I'm working on this, and I'm getting better." The words need to resonate with you. They need to feel like steps forward. Let's talk about the science behind this for a moment. Studies show that positive self-talk can lower stress, improve your mood, and even boost your performance. Why? Because your brain listens to what you tell it. If you tell yourself, "I can handle this," your brain starts looking for ways to make that true. It's like planting seeds in a garden. The more positive seeds you plant, the more positive growth you'll see. It's not magic, it's mindset. Now, some of you might be thinking, "Jim, isn't this just about being optimistic?" No, it's deeper than that. This isn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It's about choosing to focus on solutions instead of problems. It's about talking to yourself in a way that empowers you instead of holding you back. Optimism is good, but intentional self-talk, that's transformational. Here's something else to keep in mind. The words you choose don't just affect you, they affect the people around you. When you start speaking to yourself with positivity and confidence, it changes your energy. People notice it, they're drawn to it. It makes you a better leader, a better friend, a better partner. And it all starts with the words you choose to speak to yourself. If you're not sure where to start, here's a simple exercise you can do. Every morning before you dive into your day, take a moment to speak some positive words to yourself. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just say something like, "Today I'm going to give my best effort," or "I'm capable of handling whatever comes my way," or even "I'm proud of myself for showing up." Start your day with intention. Set the tone with your words. As you go through the day, keep that momentum going. If you catch yourself falling into old habits, saying something negative or doubting yourself, pause. Take a deep breath and choose a different word, a different sentence. It's okay if it feels awkward at first. That's just part of the process. Remember, every time you choose a positive word, you're building a new habit, and those habits add up. By the end of the day, reflect on how those words made you feel. Did they give you more energy? Did they help you handle challenges more calmly? Did they make you feel stronger? The more you notice the impact of your words, the more motivated you'll be to keep choosing positive ones. This isn't about perfection. You're not going to get it right all the time, and that's okay. What matters is that you're trying, that you're showing up for yourself, that you're making the effort to speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, because you deserve it. You deserve to talk to yourself like someone who believes in you, like someone who's rooting for you, like someone who knows how amazing you are. So here's my challenge to you for the next 7 days. Be intentional about the words you choose. Speak to yourself the way you would to a friend you care deeply about. Celebrate your wins no matter how small. Encourage yourself when things get tough. And most importantly, keep going. Because the words you choose today are building the person you'll become tomorrow. And I know that person is capable of great things. Number 3, focus on gratitude. When was the last time you stopped and really thought about what you're grateful for? Not just the big things, like your family or your job, but the little things. The sun shining through your window, the smile from a stranger, the food on your plate. Gratitude, my friends, is one of the most powerful tools you have. And yet so many of us overlook it. We rush through life, focusing on what's missing or what's going wrong, instead of taking a moment to appreciate what we already have. If you want to change your mindset in just 7 days, start with gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a way of shifting your focus, training your mind to see the good in your life. It's about finding joy in what's already there, instead of waiting for something better to come along. And here's the thing, when you focus on gratitude, you attract more things to be grateful for. That's not wishful thinking. It's how your mind works. What you focus on expands. Now, I know life isn't always easy. Maybe you're facing challenges right now that feel overwhelming. Maybe it feels like there's not much to be grateful for. But let me tell you something I've learned. No matter how tough things get, there's always something to appreciate. It could be as simple as the fact that you're here, breathing, with another chance to try again. Sometimes we have to dig a little deeper to find it, but it's always there. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good in the moment. It's a practice that can change your entire perspective. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you stop taking things for granted. You begin to realize just how much abundance you already have. And abundance isn't just about money or material things. It's about feeling rich in the things that truly matter. Love, health, opportunity, hope. Here's what I want you to do. Every morning before you start your day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. Write them down if you can. They don't have to be big or life-changing. Maybe you're grateful for a good night's sleep, or a conversation you had with a friend. Maybe it's the simple fact that you have clean water to drink. Whatever it is, write it down. Feel it. Let it sink in. That's how you start to rewire your brain to focus on the positive. And don't just stop there. Throughout your day, look for moments of gratitude. Maybe someone holds the door open for you. Maybe you hear your favorite song on the radio. Maybe you get through a tough task at work. Pause and acknowledge those moments. Gratitude isn't just something you do in the morning. It's a mindset you carry with you. You see, when you practice gratitude, you're not ignoring the challenges in your life. You're not pretending everything is perfect. What you're doing is choosing to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong. You're choosing to see the good, even in the middle of the hard stuff. And that choice gives you strength. It gives you hope. It reminds you that no matter what's happening, there's still beauty in the world. Gratitude also has a way of shifting your energy. When you're grateful, you're more present. You're more open. You're more positive. And people are drawn to that. Think about it. Would you rather spend time with someone who's constantly complaining or someone who's genuinely appreciative? Gratitude isn't just good for you, it's good for your relationships, your work, and your impact on the world. Here's another thing. Gratitude helps you stay grounded. It's easy to get caught up in chasing the next thing, always looking for more. But when you practice gratitude, you realize that you don't have to wait for more to feel happy or fulfilled. You can find joy right where you are. That doesn't mean you stop striving for your goals. It just means you're not putting your happiness on hold until you get there. You can be grateful for what you have now while still working toward what you want. I'll tell you a story. There was a time in my life when I felt stuck. I was struggling to get ahead, and it seemed like nothing was going my way. One day, a mentor of mine challenged me to write down 10 things I was grateful for every night before bed. At first, I resisted. I thought, what's the point? I've got real problems to deal with. But I decided to try it anyway. And you know what? It changed everything. The more I focused on gratitude, the more I started to see opportunities instead of obstacles. I realized how much I already had to be thankful for. And that gave me the motivation to keep going. Gratitude is a habit, just like anything else. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And the more you practice it, the more you'll start to see the ripple effects in your life. You'll feel more positive. You'll be more resilient. You'll build stronger connections with the people around you. And most importantly, you'll realize that you already have so much to be grateful for, no matter where you are in your journey. If you're still not convinced, let me share one more thing. Gratitude isn't just about what it does for you, it's also about what it allows you to do for others. When you're grateful, you're in a better position to give, to help, to inspire. You have more to offer because you're not stuck in a mindset of lack or scarcity. You're coming from a place of abundance, and that's a gift you can share with the world. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, commit to practicing gratitude. Start your mornings with it. End your nights with it. Look for it in the little moments throughout your day. Speak it out loud. Write it down. Share it with someone else. Let gratitude become a part of who you are, because when you do, you'll start to see just how much you have to be thankful for. And that, my friends, is the foundation for a truly extraordinary life. Number 4, use I am statements. Words are powerful, especially the words you say to yourself. Every day you're talking to yourself, whether you realize it or not, and the way you talk to yourself has a direct impact on how you feel, what you believe, and ultimately what you achieve. That's why I want to talk to you about the power of I am statements. I am are 2 of the most important words you'll ever say. Whatever follows those 2 words shapes your identity, your mindset, and your actions. Think about it. If you tell yourself I am tired, you feel tired. If you say I am not good enough, you start to believe it. But if you say I am strong or I am capable, it shifts something inside you. It sparks a different energy, a different belief. And that belief can change everything. Here's the thing, too often, we use I am in ways that don't serve us. We say things like, I am not smart enough. I am always failing, or I am not as good as everyone else. These words become our reality. They build walls around what we think we can do. But the truth is, those walls are made of nothing but words. And the good news is, you have the power to tear them down. Imagine if for the next 7 days you replaced every negative I am statement with something positive, something empowering. Imagine waking up each morning and saying, I am grateful, I am confident, I am improving every day. How would that feel? How would that change the way you approach your day? Let me tell you, it would do more than just change your day. It would start to change your life. When you say I am, you're not just describing yourself, you're defining yourself. You're making a declaration about who you are and what you stand for. And the more you repeat it, the more it sinks in. Your mind starts to believe it. Your actions start to align with it. And before you know it, you're living out the words you've been speaking. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Jim, I can't just say I am successful when I don't feel successful. But here's the truth. You don't have to feel it right away. You don't even have to believe it completely at first. What matters is that you plant the seed. Words are like seeds. And when you speak them, you're planting them in your mind. Over time, with repetition and action, those seeds grow. They become beliefs, habits, and eventually results. Let me share something with you that I've learned from my own journey. When I was starting out, I didn't always feel confident. I didn't always feel capable, but I learned the power of affirming what I wanted to be, even before I fully believed it. I'd say I am learning, or I am growing, or I am becoming the person I want to be. And over time, those words became true. Not because they were magic, but because they guided my thoughts, my actions, and my focus. And that's the key. It's not just about saying the words. It's about letting those words inspire you to take action. If you say, I am disciplined, you'll start to make choices that reflect discipline. If you say, I am healthy, you'll feel more motivated to take care of your body. Your words set the tone, but your actions bring them to life. It's a partnership between what you say and what you do. I want you to think about the person you want to become. What qualities do they have? How do they show up in the world? Now start describing yourself in those terms. Even if you're not there yet, speak it as if it's already happening. Say, I am focused. I am determined. I am worthy of success. When you do this, you're not lying to yourself. You're speaking to the potential within you. You're reminding yourself of what's possible. It's also important to make your I am statements personal and meaningful. Don't just use generic phrases. Choose words that resonate with you. If you want to feel more confident, don't just say, I am confident. Be specific. I am confident in my ability to handle challenges. If you want to feel more motivated, say, I am motivated to take the next step toward my goals. The more specific you are, the more powerful your words become. And let me tell you, this isn't just about positive thinking. It's about creating a new mindset. It's about training your brain to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong. It's about building a habit of self-empowerment, one word at a time. When you consistently speak positive I am statements, you're rewiring your mind. You're creating a new narrative for yourself, one that's rooted in possibility instead of limitation. But it doesn't stop there. I want you to take this practice beyond just talking to yourself. Share it with others. When someone asks how you're doing, instead of saying, I'm okay, say, I am excited about what's ahead, or I am grateful for today. Watch how it not only uplifts you, but also inspires the people around you. Your words have the power to create a ripple effect, spreading positivity and encouragement wherever you go. Now, I'm not saying this will be easy. Changing the way you talk to yourself takes effort. You might catch yourself falling back into old patterns. That's okay. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to be intentional. Every time you catch a negative I am statement, replace it with something positive. Be patient with yourself. Growth takes time, but every small step adds up. Let me leave you with this. You are more than what you've been telling yourself. You are capable of more, deserving of more, and meant for more. The words you speak to yourself are the foundation of everything you'll build in your life. So start speaking words that lift you up, words that remind you of your strength, your potential, and your worth. For the next 7 days, commit to this practice. Start each morning with empowering I am statements. Say them out loud, write them down, and most importantly, act on them. Let your words guide your thoughts, your choices, and your actions. And watch how, little by little, those words start to shape a new reality for you. Because when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change the way you see yourself. And when you change the way you see yourself, you change your life. Number 5, challenge negative thoughts. Your thoughts. Every single day, your mind is working non-stop. It's analyzing, judging, remembering, imagining. And in the middle of all that activity, there's a conversation happening. A conversation with yourself. But here's the thing. Sometimes that conversation isn't helpful. Sometimes it's downright destructive. And if you're not careful, those thoughts can hold you back from the life you deserve. Negative thoughts are sneaky. They creep in when you're not looking and whisper things like, you're not good enough, you'll never succeed, or why even bother? And if you let them stay, they start to feel real. But here's the truth. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Let me say that again. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Your mind has a tendency to focus on the negative. It's wired that way. But you don't have to accept every thought that pops into your head. You can challenge those thoughts. You can question them. And when you do, You take back your power. You stop being a prisoner to your own mind. Think about it like this. Your mind is like a garden. If you let weeds grow unchecked, they'll take over. But if you notice a weed and pull it out, you make room for something better to grow. Negative thoughts are like those weeds. They might show up, but you don't have to let them stay. You can pull them out and replace them with something better. So how do you challenge negative thoughts? Start by paying attention. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, don't just accept it. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it true? Is it based on facts? Or is it just fear talking? Often you'll realize that negative thoughts are just assumptions, not reality. For example, let's say you're thinking, I always mess things up. Stop and ask yourself, always, is that really true? Have I never done anything right? When you question a thought like that, it starts to lose its grip on you. You realize that it's not as solid as it seemed. And once you see that, you can replace it with something more empowering. Now let me be clear. Challenging negative thoughts isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about shifting your perspective. It's about choosing thoughts that help you instead of hurt you. If you made a mistake, instead of thinking, I'm such a failure, you can think, I made a mistake, but I'm learning from it. See the difference? One thought keeps you stuck. The other helps you grow. Here's another thing to remember. You are not your thoughts. Let me say that again. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes your thoughts. And that means you have a choice. You can decide which thoughts to believe and which ones to let go of. You can choose to focus on thoughts that lift you up instead of tear you down. One of the most powerful ways to challenge negative thoughts is to counter them with evidence. When your mind says, you can't do this, remind yourself of all the times you've done hard things before. When it says, you're not good enough, think about the skills, qualities, and strengths that make you valuable. You have so much more going for you than your negative thoughts would have you believe. And don't forget to speak to yourself with kindness. Think about how you talk to a friend who's feeling down. You wouldn't say, yeah, you're right, you're a failure. No, you'd encourage them. You'd remind them of their worth. So why not do the same for yourself? When negative thoughts arise, talk back to them with compassion and strength. Sometimes it helps to write your thoughts down. When you see them on paper, they lose some of their power. You can look at them more objectively and ask, is this really true? Or is it just a story I'm telling myself? Writing things down also helps you track patterns. You might notice that certain situations trigger negative thoughts, and once you know that, you can prepare for them. It's also important to surround yourself with positivity. The people you spend time with, the things you watch and listen to, the environments you're in, they all influence your thoughts. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it's harder to keep your mind in a good place. But if you fill your life with positivity, it becomes easier to challenge and replace negative thoughts. And let me tell you something else. Challenging negative thoughts isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. It takes effort, but it's worth it. Because the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll find that negative thoughts don't have the same hold on you. They'll still show up, but they won't control you. You'll be able to see them for what they are, just thoughts, not facts, not the truth. Now I want you to imagine what your life could look like if you stopped letting negative thoughts run the show. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of possibility instead of doubt. Imagine approaching challenges with confidence instead of fear. Imagine feeling free to go after your goals without being held back by self-doubt. That's what's possible when you take control of your thoughts. So the next time a negative thought pops into your head, don't just accept it, challenge it, question it, replace it with something that serves you. Remember, you are not your thoughts, you are the one who decides what to believe. And when you choose thoughts that empower you, there's no limit to what you can achieve. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about taking one step at a time toward a more positive, more empowered mindset. And let me tell you, that's a journey worth taking. Because when you change your thoughts, you change your life. And it all starts with a simple decision: to challenge what doesn't serve you and choose what does. Number 6, talk about possibilities, not limitations. I want you to really think about this. How often do you focus on what's possible instead of what's limiting you? Be honest with yourself here, because most of us have been conditioned to see what we can't do before we even consider what we can. And let me tell you something, that way of thinking, It's holding you back more than any external obstacle ever could. See, your mind is powerful. It's the engine behind every choice, every action, and every result in your life. If your mind is locked onto limitations, that's exactly what you'll find. Roadblocks, walls, reasons to quit before you even start. But if you train your mind to focus on possibilities, everything changes. Doors start to open. Opportunities appear where you thought there were none. You begin to see that the limits you believed in were never real. They were just stories you told yourself. Let me share something with you. Every great achievement in history started with someone who refused to be limited by what was in front of them. They saw beyond the obstacles. They believed in what could be instead of being stuck in what was. That's the mindset I want you to develop. I want you to become the kind of person who sees possibility in every situation, no matter how difficult or impossible it seems. Here's the truth. Limits are often self-imposed. Sure, there are real challenges out there. Life throws curveballs, and we all have constraints to work with. But so many of the "I can't" statements we tell ourselves are rooted in fear, not fact. I can't start my own business because I don't have enough experience. I can't go back to school because I'm too old. I can't achieve my dream because I've failed too many times. Sound familiar? These aren't facts. They're excuses. They're the voice of fear trying to keep you comfortable. And comfortable is not where growth happens. Let me tell you what possibility thinking does. It changes the question. Instead of asking, "Why can't I?" you start asking, "How can I?" And that shift, that single shift, opens up a whole new world. How can I make this work? How can I find a way? How can I take a step forward, even if it's a small one? When you start asking those kinds of questions, your brain goes to work finding answers. You move from being stuck to being resourceful. You move from doubt to action. Possibility thinking isn't about ignoring reality. It's about expanding it. It's about looking at a situation and saying, "Okay, this is where I'm starting. These are the facts. Now how can I move forward?" It's about shifting your focus from the problem to the solution, from the obstacle to the opportunity. And let me tell you, every obstacle has an opportunity hidden inside it, if you're willing to look for it. Here's the key. You have to believe in possibilities before you can see them. If you're waiting for proof, you'll be waiting forever. Belief comes first. Proof comes later. You have to trust that there's a way forward, even if you can't see it yet. And that trust, that's what keeps you moving when things get tough. That's what helps you take action when everyone else is giving up. Let me ask you this. What's one area of your life where you've been focusing on limitations? Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's a relationship. Whatever it is, I want you to take a step back and ask yourself, what's possible here? What could I do if I stopped worrying about what I can't do and started focusing on what I can? And don't hold back. Dream big. Give yourself permission to imagine a better outcome. Because if you can see it in your mind, you can work toward it in reality. Now here's where it gets really powerful. Once you start thinking about possibilities, don't just stop there. Write them down. Get specific. What does the ideal outcome look like? What steps could you take to move closer to it? Writing things down makes them real. It takes them out of your head and into the world where you can act on them. I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds great, but what if I fail? And I get it. Fear of failure is real. But let me tell you something. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every failure teaches you something. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. When you focus on possibilities, you don't see failure as the end. And here's another thing. You don't have to do this alone. Surround yourself with people who believe in possibilities too. People who lift you up, who challenge you, who remind you of what's possible when you forget. Because let's face it, we all have days when it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's when having the right people in your corner makes all the difference. I want you to remember this. The limits you see are not the limits of your life. They're the limits of your thinking, and thinking can change. It starts with a decision to focus on what's possible instead of what's not. A decision to take one step forward, even if the path isn't clear. A decision to believe in yourself and your ability to figure things out. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to know exactly how you're going to get from where you are to where you want to be. All you need is the willingness to start. The willingness to look at a situation and say, I don't know how yet, but I'm going to find a way. That's all it takes to begin. And once you begin, momentum builds. One possibility leads to another. And before you know it, you're moving in a direction you never thought was possible. So let me leave you with this. Stop focusing on your limitations. Stop letting fear, doubt, or past failures define what you can do. Start focusing on possibilities. Start asking, how can I, instead of why can't I? Start believing that you're capable of more than you've allowed yourself to imagine, because you are. You are capable of incredible things. And when you start to see possibilities where others see limits, you open up a world of opportunities that can change your life. It all starts with you. It all starts with what you choose to believe. What will you choose today? Number 7, visualize your ideal self. There's something about the idea of a fresh start that's both exciting and terrifying, isn't there? The thought of leaving behind what's familiar, even if it's not working, and stepping into the unknown. It takes courage, no doubt about that. But let me tell you, there's also something deeply beautiful and liberating about giving yourself permission to begin again. It's not about running away from the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about recognizing that your story isn't over and that you have the ability to write a new chapter anytime you choose. Life has this way of surprising us. Things don't always go as planned, and sometimes it feels like everything we've built is crumbling. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you're there right now. A relationship ended. A job didn't work out. A dream didn't come to life the way you thought it would. And in those moments, it's easy to feel stuck, to feel like you've failed, to wonder if it's even worth trying again. But I want you to hear this. Every ending is also a beginning. Every loss carries with it the seed of something new. Starting over isn't about forgetting where you've been. It's about taking the lessons you've learned, the pain, the triumphs, the growth, and using them as fuel to create something better. Think about it. If you're standing at the edge of a new beginning, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. And experience is powerful. It's what gives you wisdom. It's what helps you make better choices, take smarter risks, and create a life that's more aligned with who you are and what you truly want. I know it's scary. The unknown always is. There's no map, no guarantee that things will work out the way you hope. But here's the thing. Staying stuck is scarier. Living a life that doesn't fulfill you, staying in situations that drain you, holding on to what's familiar just because it's comfortable, that's scarier. Because deep down, you know you were made for more. Deep down, you know that growth only happens when you're willing to step outside your comfort zone and take a leap of faith. Here's something I want you to think about. What if the things you're afraid of losing aren't actually meant to be part of your future? What if letting go isn't the end, but the beginning of something far greater? It's so easy to hold on to what we know, even when it's not good for us. But sometimes, the greatest act of self-love is to let go, to release what no longer serves you so you can make room for what does. And let me tell you, starting over doesn't have to mean making a huge, dramatic change all at once. Sometimes it's the small steps that make the biggest difference. A decision to wake up earlier, a choice to say no to something that drains your energy, a commitment to pursue something you've been putting off. Every small action you take in the direction of your dreams is a step toward the life you want. It's like planting seeds. You might not see the results right away, but with time and care, they'll grow into something beautiful. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and that's a good thing. Every day you have the chance to evolve, to become a little braver, a little stronger, a little more you. So don't let the fear of failure hold you back. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every misstep teaches you something valuable. Every setback is an opportunity to recalibrate, to learn, to grow. And honestly, the only real failure is not trying at all. You're going to have people in your life who don't understand your decision to start over. They'll question it. They might even judge it. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to understand your path because it's not theirs to walk. Your journey is yours. Your dreams, your goals, your vision for your life, they belong to you. And the people who truly care about you will support you, even if they don't fully understand. I want you to remember this. It's never too late to start over. I don't care how old you are, how many mistakes you've made, or how long you've been stuck. None of that defines you. What defines you is what you choose to do next. What defines you is your willingness to keep going, to keep believing, to keep fighting for the life you want. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are a work in progress. And progress is something to be proud of. There's a quote I love that says, "Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most." Isn't that powerful? Think about it. Every day is a chance to begin again. to let go of yesterday's mistakes, to forgive yourself, to take one small step toward the life you want. And those small steps, they add up, they build momentum, they create change. So here's my challenge to you. Give yourself permission to start over, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's a new career, a new mindset, a new relationship with yourself. Maybe it's choosing to prioritize your health, your happiness, your dreams. Whatever it is, trust that you're capable of making it happen. Trust that the best is yet to come, because it is. You have so much more strength, courage, and resilience than you give yourself credit for. You've overcome challenges before, and you can do it again. You've faced uncertainty before, and you've come out the other side. This is no different. This is your chance to create a life that lights you up, that feels meaningful, that makes you proud to be who you are. Take a deep breath. Let go of the fear, the doubt, the need for perfection. Focus on the possibilities, the opportunities, the things that excite you. And remember, you're not alone. There are people cheering for you, even if you don't realize it. People who believe in you, who see your potential, who are rooting for you to succeed. Starting over isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of strength. It's a declaration that you believe in yourself and your ability to create something better. So take that first step, whatever it is, no matter how small, take it and keep going. Because your story isn't over, it's just beginning. And I can't wait to see where it takes you. Number 8, be kind and patient with yourself. Not the kind you have when you're asleep, but the kind that keeps you awake at night. The kind that lights a fire in your soul and makes you believe in the impossible. The dreams that whisper to you, there's more to life than this. We all have them, don't we? Those quiet hopes, the visions of something greater, something extraordinary. And yet how often do we push them aside? How often do we tell ourselves, maybe later, or that's just not realistic? But what if I told you that your dream, yes, that big, audacious, scary dream is possible? What if I told you it's closer than you think? Here's the thing about dreams. They don't come with guarantees. There's no instruction manual, no step-by-step guide that says follow this and you'll succeed. That's why so many people give up before they even start. Because the path to your dream is uncharted, unpredictable, and sometimes downright messy. But that's also what makes it worth it. The beauty of chasing a dream is in the journey. It's in the challenges you overcome, the lessons you learn, and the person you become along the way. Think about it. What's stopping you from going after what you really want? Is it fear, doubt, the opinions of others? I get it. Those things can feel paralyzing. But let me tell you something. Fear will always be there. It's part of being human. The trick is not to let it control you. Instead, let it fuel you. Let it remind you that what you're doing matters, that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, that you're growing. And doubt? Oh, doubt loves to creep in when you're dreaming big. It tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. But here's the truth. Doubt is a liar. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Because starting is what separates dreamers from doers. Starting is what sets the wheels in motion. And once you take that first step, no matter how small, you'll realize that doubt was wrong all along. Now let's talk about the opinions of others. Because if there's one thing that holds people back more than anything, it's the fear of judgment. The fear of what people will think or say. But let me ask you this. Whose life are you living? Yours or theirs? You can't please everyone. And honestly, you shouldn't try. Your dreams are yours for a reason. They're not meant to be understood or approved by everyone else. The people who truly care about you will support you, even if they don't fully understand your vision. And the rest, well, their opinions are none of your business. Chasing your dreams isn't easy. Let's be real about that. There will be days when it feels impossible, days when you want to quit, days when the obstacles seem bigger than the dream itself. But those are the days that matter most, because those are the days when you prove to yourself just how much you want it. Those are the days when you dig deep, find your grit, and keep going. And let me tell you, there's nothing more satisfying than overcoming a challenge you once thought would break you. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? And my response to that is, so what? Failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. They faced rejection, criticism, and setbacks, but they didn't let it stop them. They learned from it. They grew from it. And they kept going. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to it. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of never trying. And here's something else to consider. What if you succeed? What if the dream you've been holding on to becomes your reality? What if all the hard work, all the sacrifices, all the late nights and early mornings lead to something incredible? Imagine how that would feel. Imagine looking back and knowing that you didn't just talk about your dreams, you lived them. That's the kind of life you deserve. A life where you wake up excited, where you're proud of the choices you've made, where you know you gave it your all. Your dreams are not random. They're not silly or unrealistic. They're part of who you are. They're the reason you feel that spark, that longing for something more, and they're worth fighting for. So don't settle. Don't let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others hold you back. Take that first step, no matter how small. Trust yourself. Believe in your ability to figure it out along the way. And remember, you're not alone. There are people out there who believe in you, who want to see you succeed, who are cheering for you every step of the way. The world needs your dream. It needs your unique perspective, your passion, your creativity. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Build it. Live it. Because when you do, you inspire others to do the same. And that's how change happens. That's how we create a world where people aren't just surviving, they're thriving. So go after your dream with everything you've got. Take the risk, embrace the uncertainty, and know that no matter what happens, you'll be better for it. This is your time, your moment, your chance to create the life you've always wanted. Don't let it slip away. You are capable of more than you can imagine. You are stronger than you think. And you are so worthy of living a life that makes you happy. So go for it. Chase your dream. And don't stop until you make it a reality. Number 9, set daily intentions. You are capable of so much more than you believe. I know you've heard it before, but maybe today you'll actually let it sink in. You are capable of extraordinary things. The only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is your belief in yourself. That's it. Not your circumstances, not your resources, not your past. It's your mindset, and that's something you can change. I want you to imagine for a moment the best version of yourself. Close your eyes if you need to. Picture the person you want to become. The one who has achieved their dreams, who wakes up every day with purpose and passion. Can you see it? That version of you is real. They exist. But here's the catch. They're waiting for you to take action. They're waiting for you to stop doubting, stop hesitating, and start believing that you're worthy of becoming them. Because you are. Let's talk about where you are right now. Maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're tired of the same routine, the same struggles, the same doubts. Or maybe you're doing okay, but you know deep down that okay isn't enough. You want more. You want to feel alive, to be proud of yourself, to create something meaningful. And you can. You absolutely can. But first you have to decide. You have to decide that you're done playing small, that you're done settling for less than what you deserve, that you're ready to do whatever it takes to create the life you want. Now, I'm not saying it'll be easy. It won't be. Change never is. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments when you want to give up. But those moments are where growth happens. They're where you discover your strength, your resilience, your determination. They're where you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. And trust me, that feeling of overcoming, of rising above, of becoming, is worth every struggle. You might be thinking, but I don't know where to start. That's okay. Nobody starts with all the answers. The key is to start anyway. Start small if you need to. Take one step, then another, and another. The path will reveal itself as you go. But if you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity, you'll be waiting forever. Perfection is a myth. Progress is what matters. And let's talk about failure for a second, because that's something that stops so many people in their tracks. The fear of failing, of messing up, of looking foolish. It's paralyzing. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. They've faced rejection, made mistakes, and fallen flat on their faces. But they didn't let it stop them. They learned from it, they grew from it, and they kept going. That's what makes the difference. So if you're afraid of failing, remember this. Failing is better than not trying. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, a chance to grow. And the more you fail, the closer you get to success. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. And you can do that. I know you can. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that often gets overlooked. Your mindset, the way you think about yourself and your abilities, is everything. If you believe you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, then guess what? You'll act in ways that prove yourself right. But if you believe you're capable, that you have what it takes, that you can figure it out no matter what, then you'll start to act in ways that make that belief a reality. Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your actions, your decisions, your life, so pay attention to them. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, doubting yourself, or focusing on what could go wrong, pause, take a deep breath, and choose a different thought. Choose to focus on what could go right, on what you can do, on the progress you've already made. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the possibilities instead of the limitations. I know this might all sound easier said than done, and in some ways it is. Changing your mindset takes time, effort, and practice. But it's worth it, because when you change the way you think, you change the way you live. You start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You start to believe in yourself in a way that feels unshakable. And that belief becomes your foundation, your fuel, your superpower. Let's talk about the people you surround yourself with, because that's another big piece of the puzzle. Your environment matters. The people you spend the most time with influence your thoughts, your habits, your goals. If you're surrounded by negativity, doubt, or complacency, it's going to be that much harder to stay motivated and focused. But if you surround yourself with positivity, encouragement, and ambition, you'll feel inspired, supported, and unstoppable. So take a good look at your circle. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? Are they cheering you on or questioning your dreams? Be honest with yourself. And if you realize that some relationships aren't serving you, it's okay to create distance. It's okay to prioritize your growth, your happiness, your future. You deserve to be surrounded by people who believe in you, who challenge you to be better, who remind you of your worth when you forget. And if you don't have those people in your life right now, go find them. They're out there. Join a community. Reach out to a mentor. Connect with like-minded individuals. You don't have to do this alone. And finally, I want you to remember this. Progress is progress, no matter how small. Celebrate every step forward, every little win, every bit of growth. Don't wait until you've achieved the big goal to feel proud of yourself. Be proud of the effort you're putting in right now. Be proud of the fact that you're showing up, that you're trying, that you're not giving up. Because that's what matters. That's what will get you where you want to go. You have everything you need within you to create the life you want. The strength, the courage, the determination, it's all there. It might be buried under fear, doubt, or past experiences, but it's there, and it's waiting for you to tap into it. So stop waiting for permission, for the perfect moment, for someone else to believe in you. Believe in yourself. Take the leap. Trust the process. And know that no matter what happens, you are growing. You are learning. You are becoming the person you're meant to be. This is your time. Your opportunity to step into your potential, to chase your dreams, to create a life that makes you proud. Don't waste it. Don't hold back. Go all in, because you are capable, you are deserving, and you are enough. So start now. Start today. And don't stop until you get there. Number 10, commit to the process. Let's take a moment to talk about something real, something that connects with all of us on a deeper level. Life is full of challenges. It's messy, unpredictable, and at times it feels overwhelming. But here's the thing, those moments of struggle, the times when it feels like everything is stacked against you, that's where your power lies. That's where you grow, where you transform, where you discover what you're truly capable of. I know what you might be thinking. It's easy to say that when you're not the one going through it. And you're right, it's hard to hear someone tell you to keep going when all you want to do is give up. But let me ask you this. What if this challenge, this moment, is exactly what you need? What if it's shaping you into the person you're meant to be? Sometimes life doesn't give us what we want. It gives us what we need to grow, to learn, to evolve. Think about it for a second. Look back at a time when you faced something that felt impossible. Maybe it was heartbreak, failure, or loss. At that moment, it felt like the end, didn't it? But you made it through. You found strength you didn't know you had. And even if it left scars, those scars are proof of your resilience. They're a reminder that you're a fighter, that you're stronger than you think. Now I want you to picture where you want to go. Your dreams, your goals, the life you've always imagined. It's all waiting for you. But here's the catch. It won't come to you easily. You'll have to fight for it. You'll have to work harder than you've ever worked. Believe in yourself when no one else does. And keep going even when every part of you wants to stop. But let me tell you something. It's worth it. Every single step, every late night, every sacrifice, it's all worth it when you see what you're capable of achieving. You have to remind yourself every day why you started, why you wanted this in the first place. Because there will be days when the motivation isn't there, when you feel stuck, tired, and unsure of yourself. On those days, discipline will carry you forward. The commitment to your vision will keep you moving. So don't rely on feeling ready or inspired. Act even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Let's talk about fear for a second. Fear is sneaky. It shows up as doubt, procrastination, or the voice in your head that says, "What if I fail?" But here's the thing about fear. It's only as powerful as you allow it to be. Fear doesn't stop you. You stop you. The truth is, the fear of failure is often worse than failure itself. Because even if you fail, you learn, you grow, you get back up and try again. But if you let fear hold you back, you never even give yourself the chance to succeed. You have to start thinking of failure differently. It's not the end, it's a beginning. It's a chance to start over, to adjust, to come back stronger. Some of the most successful people in the world failed countless times before they made it. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. So if you fail, don't be ashamed. Be proud. It means you tried. It means you're one step closer to figuring out what works. And let me remind you of something powerful. You don't have to be perfect to make progress. Too many people get caught up in waiting for the right time, the perfect circumstances, or for themselves to feel ready. But perfection is a myth. Progress is real. It's messy, it's imperfect, and sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but it's still progress. So stop waiting. Start now with what you have, where you are. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just start. One of the most important things you can do is surround yourself with the right people. People who lift you up, who challenge you to grow, who believe in your potential even when you don't. The energy around you matters. If you're surrounded by negativity, it's going to pull you down. But if you're surrounded by positivity, encouragement, and ambition, it will fuel you. So take a good look at your circle. Are they helping you become the person you want to be? If not, it's okay to step back. It's okay to protect your energy, because your growth matters. And while we're on the subject of energy, let's talk about self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly pushing yourself without taking time to rest, recharge, and reflect, you'll burn out. Success isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about knowing when to push and when to pause. So take care of yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, because you are your greatest asset. At the end of the day, everything comes down to this: you have a choice. You can choose to stay where you are, to let fear hold you back, to let doubt keep you small. Or you can choose to rise, to take a chance on yourself, to go after what you want with everything you've got. The choice is yours. And I know it's not easy. I know it's scary. But the best things in life are on the other side of fear. You are capable of more than you know. You have the power to create a life that excites you, challenges you, and fulfills you. But it starts with you. It starts with believing in yourself, taking action, and refusing to give up. So take the first step, and then another, and another. Keep going, no matter what, because you deserve to live a life you're proud of, and you have everything it takes to make it happen.